Sage. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, living the dream as usual. If you're in a band called Endrid, right? Am I saying that right?
hmm
Okay.
Yeah.
And they sent me a snippet of your song. It's called Wendigo. Am I saying that right as well?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
And that's off the creature that lives in the woods, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Loosely. Yes.
Yeah. And then so I heard the song or the snippet, and then I got hooked up with you. We had a conversation, and here we are. You sent me the whole song. It's fucking awesome. So I want to talk about
Thank
that
you.
and talk about you and your band and all that. So just tell us where you're from and go from there, brother.
Yeah. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I live about 20 minutes away from the city, but that's what everybody knows us for. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. All of my guys are from here too. We've all grown up here. Yeah. I've got a lot of family on the East Coast.
Hmm.
A little bit more up in Colorado too, but so those are the places I typically travel. But yeah, I've been stuck here my whole life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now let me ask you this, since we're talking about geographical locations, and we'll get into the band in a minute. But do you feel like your area where you live, do you think that influences the type of music you write, or do you think it's just the music or the type of stuff that is there? I mean, because what I'm saying is, I guess, is do you think there's an environmental influence on how you write music or anything like that?
That's a great question. I've never really thought about that. Uh,
Hmm.
I know, like a lot of other, there's a lot of bands that like call themselves like Midwest emo or
Hmm.
and stuff like that, but I've never really thought about it that way. We kind
Right.
of just jam, and then eventually, after enough jamming, we write songs, and then here we are. Yeah,
No, I mean, and the name of the band, like I said earlier, is Endrid. So what's the origin story of that?
yeah. So essentially, me and my one of my best friends slash singer Cody, we've been in a couple bands together already,
Hmm.
and in this iteration, which is Endrid, we kind of our previous band just broke up. It went pretty horrendously. We lost a lot of friends and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's our first big heartbreak, and we've started this little acoustic journey, and we started just writing a bunch of songs that we've had in the bank. And when you're in a band, like you don't get to just make everything about your songs. You have to let everyone else write or bring their songs. It's just the camaraderie. But
Hmm.
we really got to like redevelop that connection that we've had since day one. And I don't know where it really started, but somewhat in that break where we were only on acoustic,
Hmm.
basically Cody started and me, we kept having this weird little like they're popularly known as like synchronicities, but I would say more of like the universe kind of poking at you.
Hmm.
And we kept seeing like the number 22 on everything. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, we were going through our photos on iPhone and you could search up by date. So like
Hmm.
I looked up September 22nd and it was like um this song was right there, and we were jamming that song like an hour ago. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is just, it's fucking
Right.
right. You
Yeah.
can't really, it's not enough to where you can think you're crazy, but it's just like little pokes here and there.
Right.
And so it kind of went like that for a while. It got pretty wild, and we realized it was like, all right, we've got to release our first song on September 22nd.
There you
That's the
go.
start of the fall equinox. In our notes and our photos, like that's where we have all these little Easter eggs that we found and like lyrics that are in this song. Yeah. Contrary to that, we also went all the way up to Mothman Festival in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which was also last year, I think, on September 22nd. So it's pretty chronological.
Yeah.
Um,
So it seems like the number 22 is a pretty significant force multiplier for you guys. It sounds like.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we
So
found our edge.
how was that Mothman festival? Because I've heard like there was that shitty Richard Gere movie 30 years ago about the Mothman prophecies or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so what was that like?
Honestly, it was nothing like what I would have expected. It was just a giant fair of like art, like everywhere. Tons of tents, tons of like Appalachian music being
That's
played
cool.
and on the
Yeah.
side. They had a huge main stage. and it's like a really mini Red Rocks. So it's like a Coliseum type thing, but it's really small and it's right over the water. Uh, Tons of paranormal investigators and very known writers and stuff like that were all there doing conferences and meet
Mhm.
and greets. People are taking pictures, slapping Mothman's ass.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally, I feel like it was nothing crazy. It was just like a really, it's a really small town,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
just this huge festival with food trucks and all types of alternative people and vintage fashion, like all the cool crowds, I would say.
That's
So
really cool.
yeah,
And I remember, I think in our previous discussion, but you were talking about, didn't you guys get ran out of town somewhere or something like that, or what was that?
yeah, yeah. So alongside the 22 thing, we found this show called Hellier on, I think it was Amazon Music or
Uh-huh.
Amazon Video,
Yeah.
and it's about this old mining town in West Virginia called
Mhm.
Hellier,
Okay.
and essentially, like, it was a Hopkins Goblin repeat, but, like, in 2020 or whenever it was filmed. And this guy who's literally just like him and his friends were just ghost hunters from high school for fun. Like it was all jokes and stuff like that. Well,
Right.
they got this email from this guy saying like, "Hey, if you help me come use dynamite and close these caves off that these goblins are coming through, then I'll let you use it, in your for your marketing
Right.
purposes or whatever." So the guy drove all the way out there with his team. His wife is she's a witch, so she does like that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. They brought this other guy who's a Catholic, and
Mhm.
then this younger adventure explorer dude. And they went all the way up there, and the guy disappeared. There's no town history of the guy, and it's a small, small town. Like, I'll get into how we got ran out because of how small the town is. But like, if you go there and you start asking for someone, more than likely they know who it is.
Like 72 people in town,
Yeah,
you've met
it's
everybody.
it's known for a post office. Like, but yeah, and then they went on this, they got led, they started getting more emails saying like you were so close but so far, all kinds of cryptic weird shit. And they basically go down the rabbit hole for 2 seasons and they're just going all over the place. So yeah, I was like, let's go through the town. Let's drive up there. Might as well. I love the show, and I read a couple warnings that I didn't tell my friends about.
No.
But yeah, I guess people already beat us there and like they had similar experiences, but we
Mhm.
drove through there like right at sunset. And by the time we got into the town, it's like, dude, it's one lane streets, not even
Right.
two, it's one. And like where all the house porch lights are off, it's like the sun isn't even down yet. And you can tell it's just ghost town.
Yeah.
And we're driving through there and this car like was behind us, and then he hit a sharp right and went up this hill, and then he just like stayed right at the innards of this driveway.
Mhm.
And I mean, you can't even see the dude's house. Like it's just woods, and it's on a hill, so like it's on a mountain pretty much. So yeah, then our GPS, we have no service, so we're using car GPS, which is somewhat loading, except it was taking us like there was no streets on the GPS. It was just taking us like it was just a blue triangle. And we're like, okay, so this is like some final destination shit. We're fucked. And but and then all of a sudden that car like spins out of the driveway and then it's behind us. So we're like,
Wow.
okay, that's fucking weird. So
Yeah.
we're still driving, and then it starts taking us. Now it's not even like black pavement, it's just straight up gravel and dirt road. And it
Mm,
just each side of us is just trees, and the right is a cliff, on the left is just trees. So you have to go straight.
right. There's no
There's
zigging
nothing.
and zagging or any shit.
Black. Pitch fucking black. It's dark that like even with the headlights on, you can't see anything.
Jesus. Yeah.
So yeah, and next thing you know, we see like flashing lights behind us. I'm like, oh my god, it's the cops. I was like, oh fuck. We turn around and I'm like, wait, that's not a cop. It's a dune buggy with fake cop lights on top. So now I'm like, oh shit, like don't pull over for that car. Like absolutely do not pull over. That's not a cop.
Yeah.
And so it starts following us and like flashing at us, and we just keep going. And obviously we have to go slow because like I mean literally like the tires are kind of spinning on that road. It's
Right.
horrible.
Yeah.
So then we're going, and then the car just like stops, and then we keep going, and the next thing you know, there's another car in front of us blocking the road. So I'm like, okay, this is like
What in
they're
the
communicating. Like, yeah, I'm
yeah,
like, this is
like
bad. Like, this
what
is
in the wrong turn is going on here?
yeah,
Yeah,
not
no,
good.
yeah, he's like,
And we're
fucking
just like,
you're too young to remember the movie Deliverance, so but there's a Deliverance joke in there somewhere.
my goodness.
But what got you into playing music? I mean, who like what are some of your influences for, you know, cuz I mean, the song, I guess I would call it a harder melodic song. I think
Yeah,
is that fair to say? Yeah.
yeah.
Cody is your singer. He's
Hmm.
got a great voice. I think you guys got a lot of potential. So, do you have a specific band that you credit to saying, "Hey, this is like, you know, like for me, like I'm okay, let me preference this. I own a bass, right? I pluck at it occasionally. Okay. So, but I guess if I were to say that I had an influence for playing bass, it would be like Justin Chancellor from Tool, right?
Nice. That's a
So,
great pick.
yeah, or Rex Brown from Pantera or something like
Hmm.
that. You know what I mean? Or, you know, so
Yeah.
that's the I was in my teens when I went to my first Ozfest and I saw Megadeth, Tool, Z, of course. Unfortunately, I saw Snot. That was a terrible experience. And
Totally
also,
forgot about.
yeah, they suck so bad. And the worst of the worst, the swirl on top of the shit on that card was fucking Limp Biscuit. Um,
Um,
yeah, the turd that won't flush. I guess what I'm asking is like, who or what influenced you to become a musician?
yeah. I started playing guitar a bit later. It
Mm-hmm.
was like in the senior year, so I was always worried that like I didn't start early enough to really be like a shredder, you know. So like I had a lot of influence from guitarists like Steven Carpenter from Deftones was the first one. And that's because he's just literally known for riffs.
Yeah,
Like I don't think they have a single solo in any of their songs that he plays. He's just riff master. So obviously, I naturally when I'm young, I gravitate towards that. And then with the second one that like really inspired like my like the sounds I like and like the ways of lead guitar would be like Adam Jones from Tool.
yeah. Those guys
Because
are they're so different with their time signatures, and it all spawns from Danny Carey. That guy's a fucking
yeah,
he's
they've got
absolutely
he's
insane.
just his like guitar tones are out of this world. He's like he mastered like using his knobs on his guitar to get
Mm,
so many different sounds. And that's like
yeah,
something we usually skip because we're like, oh, we'll just go buy a guitar pedal.
right.
Why would I
And
waste
then
my time, right?
yeah, well, you have the thing. I always butcher the name of the song, but it's on the it's on the Inema album, and it's the first track on that album, and it's such a funky riff that he's playing. I don't even know what he does to do that, but
The Stinkfist.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
Stinkfest, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and those guys are a different level, you know. Like I always say, like, here's Tool, and here's everybody else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Keenan does a great job singing too, and but I think that the three musicians are the ones that kind of make that a juggernaut that it is. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen them twice live. Once at Ozfest '98, and then we went to New Orleans to see him in like 20. It was right before COVID hit. We went to New Orleans and watched him. It was for the Fear Inoculum tour. It was an insane show. It was that band you don't watch, you experience it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Straight
So,
up.
um, tell me a little bit about your band, or tell me everything about your band, and how you guys came to one the name, obviously, and then
Hmm.
two, just like what? Because you said you've been in a couple different ones before. How did this one form?
Yeah. Um, we just got a cool show offer. So we formed a band last minute,
Mm-hmm.
and just went and played the show.
That's cool. I mean,
Much.
well, dude, you know, as they say, sometimes necessity is the mother of invention, right? If you guys are, you know, you got a guy that plays drums, guys plays guitar, sing, whatever, and it clicks, see where it goes. There's nothing wrong with that.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much how we started playing again. And the name at first it was Injured Cold, but we felt like it was a little too on the nose. Plus
Yeah.
there was like a Swedish death metal band named Injured Cold. There was like a
Mm,
hardcore band on the East Coast. So I just didn't want to
no. Well, you don't.
deal with. Yeah.
That and you don't wanna have to be like, "Well, we're gonna sue you now."
Yeah,
That
no.
shit down the road too, you know?
Yeah. It's always cool until you do something cool and then now they wanna be a part of that. Yeah, not a good thing.
100%, yeah.
So, yeah, that's we just ended up changing it out of E, and then we gave it, like, a new meaning, like,
Mhm.
Endrid actually means it's, like I think it's Nordic, I think? It's hard to find the definition, but it means, like yeah, it's, like, to to walk this path alone with, like, great determination, essentially. So, basically, like, in our eyes, like, Endrid's just a world, it's like a planet. We've
Okay.
got Earth, we're Endrid,
Right.
and then we're just the guys walking through this world together. And all the songs, yeah,
Okay, and how many people are in the band? Is it a 5-piece?
4,
4 piece?
just
Nice.
4, yep. So Cody sings and plays guitar. Me and him have always kinda swapped leads, but because like, I mean, that man is, like he can shred, like, but he's also an amazing singer. We've
Yeah.
always just bobbed and weaved. But yeah, so he plays guitar, I play guitar. One of our, like, best friends, Donovan, he plays bass,
Mhm.
and then our drummer's name is Cameron, and he's a fucking machine too.
Nice.
Man, especially in, like, the newer stuff that we've been working on.
Mm.
Yeah, he'll get his
Yeah.
chance to shine.
That's cool, dude. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys, man. Like I said before, I think you guys have a lot of potential, and the one thing to do is to is to be careful of the pitfalls, right?
Yeah,
Of the lifestyle, especially if you guys get your first big whatever. You know what I mean? Just have to
yeah,
be careful and keep a level head, which is never an easy thing to do.
yeah,
But I know you're wanting to do music because it's your passion and it's what you feel like you're supposed to do. So, but
yeah.
you have to figure out how to not fuck it up for lack of a better term.
Um,
Are you guys trying to get like a full album?
I'm not afraid to either to talk about, like, logistics either. I mean, it's
Mhm.
something that more people should talk about because
Right.
there's a reason people take their music so fucking serious.
Right.
Like, for example, we wanna release an EP at least by spring, and that'll have, like, our sound in a box, little mini box. And then after that, the goal is obviously through whatever means possible, merch online, crowdfunding, whatever we need to do, shows, anything where there's more money than what the pennies we make from streaming will go right back into the album, right? Um, and I've been trying to figure out most of the ways to, like, really generate some sort of passive income. And I think our best bet is, like, establishing not like our physical identity as people, but like the band identity.
Mhm.
So, like, so people, like, so the name generates money. And, like, I
Mhm.
can post, like, a cool edit of, like, fucking anime battles or something, and then
Mhm.
put our song over it, post it on the band page on all the socials, and then get, like, 10,000 likes, and then it's monetized, making what, 50 bucks. But,
Yeah.
like, I think that's like, if I hate social media, but I feel like that's honestly looks like the best way besides straight up merch.
Well, you know what really got bands, especially in the early 2000s, because they're like what really got bands kicked off was MySpace. Um, I remember like when you had your little profile on MySpace, you could pick 5 songs from a band or whatever, and everybody had fucking crossfade for some reason. It was terrible shit. But and it was and that was the beginning of social media, and I remember that, and it was like I remember like Job for a Cowboy, they were huge because of MySpace. I found
MySpace metalcore, that was a big thing too.
right. Well, I found one of my favorite bands on MySpace called Demon Hunter,
Mhm.
and I've been listening to them for almost 20 years now. And it's like, so I think that grassroots approach to what you're doing is great because if you build that solid fan base in the beginning, they'll follow you for years
Yeah,
to come. So it's just a
no,
matter of everything's got to click and get into the right tune. I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but yeah, no. So yeah, kind of dumb question, but what kind of guitar do you play?
yeah, I've got it's in the case right now, but it's an Ibanez RGMS, or no, it's a Ibanez Axion label 7 string.
So
So
you just haven't
it's
nice.
yeah, it's a fan fret. I'll grab it real quick if you don't
Yeah, go
mind.
ahead. Yeah, I don't care. Take a look.
Here's my baby.
Nice. Yeah. So
Oh.
Now, for someone that doesn't really play guitar, like, I understand the classic six string and all that, but so like, as I have a five string bass, so I understand that the extra string on top, it gives it a richer tone.
Yeah.
Is that something similar with a seven string guitar?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, I can tune it to obviously having a low G. And if I'm playing in drop C, now when I strum that G with whatever other chords I'm playing, and it's just like a chord with a lower bass note, like another more mellow, thicker sound. You could also use like songs where like all your riffs are on the seventh string.
Mhm.
But I really just use it as like extra bass notes. So now like even in Wendigo, you hear the chords are like a little bit melancholy.
Yeah.
They're not too bright. And it's just like that, just using these extra bass notes for more fluidity. And then the fan fret really just makes it easier to like it stays in tune better, it stays intonated better.
Mhm.
A lot more accessibility up here on the neck for
Mhm.
whatever leads and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you ever plan on doing solos in your music or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I want to get there. It's a hard battle because like I've
Yeah.
never really considered myself a lead guitarist, but like Wendigo was like a little hint, of
Yeah,
what I can
yeah.
do.
That's why I was kinda bringing it up because of the song. I was
Yeah,
like, there's, like, a little hint in there. But, I remember listening to David Lee Roth talk about Eddie Van Halen, and what he would do is he would do 6 solos per song, and then he would pick the pieces of each solo, and then I'm like, "Who the how?" Like,
yeah,
but I mean, it's just when, I guess when you're born with a guitar in your hand, you can do it.
yeah.
How often do you guys get to play shows?
This will be the first one we've played in like about a year, to be
Really?
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. We we used to play pretty often, but like we kind of had a like this is like Endrid iteration too. So like what
Mhm,
you see now is the established.
mhm.
Um, we didn't know if we were gonna after the first like kind of mini breakup we had. We didn't know if we were gonna keep going, but then Cody like went and wrote a bunch of shit and then came over one day and showed me, and I was like, holy fuck. All right, yeah, we're doing this for sure. At least to get this out. That's good. Yeah. So
Coming together and working as a unit to write your songs. How does that work? Do you guys just, like, you get in a room, right, obviously, and then say somebody writes a melody or a chorus or whatever, and then how just walk me through that process if you don't mind.
yeah. So typically I'll write like I'm really good at writing like bridges.
Mhm,
So we have a lot of songs where like it's actually started with a bridge
mhm.
riff and then we wrote everything else to go to that. Sometimes Cody just he's really like when I first met him, he was really big into like Stevie Ray Vaughan and
Nice.
um lots of blues and soul singers. He really
Mhm.
liked John Mayer, Grateful Dead. So he's always been a really, really powerful, like catchy songwriter.
Right,
And I've always been obviously Tool and like progressive metal and that kind of shit. So I've
right.
always just been really good at like atmospheric sounding stuff. So yeah, like usually he'll come in with like riffs, or like a chord progression that he's really obsessed with, and then we'll turn it into a full song. Um, and we'll kind of like write the Sage and Cody version, and then we go to practice and then turn it into the like final form.
Until the Endrid version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
And that's the thing is you're collaborating with people and you want people to be involved because I hate to bring them up, but fucking Metallica, okay? Like they would for the longest time it was just James and Lars being in charge of everything. They would
that's
be like, that last riff, I don't think so. Like that kind of thing. So you can't have that mentality of iron fisted shit. You have to be able to it's give and take. And you have to, everybody in your band, all four of you have a voice and you all need to be
yeah,
heard. It
yeah.
can't just be, my way or the highway kind of shit. Unless you're Trent
No,
Reznor
straight
and
up.
you do everything yourself.
Wish I was some kind of prodigy or something, but no, I'm just good songwriter. But that's all we kind of always have the like, I mean, we're guitarists, he's a singer, so like no matter what, even if it's on acoustic, the song will start with us most of the time.
Hmm.
Or actually, it's what's interesting is like I practice lately, like the bass and drums have been starting off. And then me and Cody, I've been joining in on guitar first, and then Cody just hops right on vocals instead of guitar, and it still sounds like us.
Yeah,
Like it's just we're writing music like that.
that's
So
good. Yeah, that
If it's
means you
not
guys are
broke.
getting it. It just means you're getting into a groove. That's all.
Yeah.
And I mean that's once you guys get to that where you're just a fucking straight beat and you're just cranking them out, you know. But
Mhm.
also it comes to a point to where yeah, having a good flow of inspiration is great, but you also don't want to oversaturate yourself too. So it's there's a
No.
fine line.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah. You don't I don't wanna give, our craziest songs right away. Kinda just ease people in.
Yeah,
'Cause,
no,
like, I mean, we've got our sound, it varies.
mhm,
Like, it all has a similar kinda style, but, like, we've got some songs we purposely made, like, more difficult or less, predictable. We've got one song that's, like, extremely heavy, like,
nice.
extremely heavy,
I mean, I know it's
just
I know it's hard to talk for Cody, but since he's not here, but
yeah.
where does he get his inspiration for his lyrics? I mean,
Um,
and is that a collaborative thing too? Do you guys say, "Hey, that line sucks," or
yeah, it used to be a
mhm,
very he would kind of make it into, like, a singer-songwriter style. I would
mhm,
usually come to him with straight up poetry
right,
because I've always written poetry and, like, I've always been good at writing and stuff like that.
right,
So, like, I kinda just we've been in this together since we both started playing in bands, so I kind of at first it was like, like 50-50, and now it's, like, more like 80-20. I've often very have little to say because he's done a great job. He doesn't really take lyrics from anyone else, he just writes.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Some people they get inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. I just didn't know if he drew it from poetry or science fiction or anything like that. But Wendigo's out now.
Yeah, every
You said it's on Apple.
and
All
I
right, I'll put it all in the description of the show. That way people can find you. And then if you ever make it to Florida and play a gig, let me know.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
I'll
No,
round
yeah,
the troops. Yeah,
we've got tons of family there. It would
yeah,
actually be cheaper to go there than the West Coast. Like, we could probably get all of our food and housing paid for if we drove there, so
nice.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Now I'll definitely show up and support you guys, and let me know when you drop a little bit of merch. I'll buy some too.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I've got 3 bags full of merch that I we gotta start selling that, so
Cool. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I just wanted to say thanks and take it and then do that shit again. I got a fucking honey baked ham in here right now, dude. Anyways, well, I'm gonna wrap it up. So, just thanks for taking time out of your day to come talk to me on my little podcast, and I really dig this song, man. Where they can find you.
yeah, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it's at Endrid Band on all the social medias, um, literally anywhere. You could also visit our website at onlyendrid.com, and that's with an E, so ENDRID, onlyendrid.com.
Cool. And then if the promoter's listening and they want to book you, well, they would find you in there.
Thank you so much, it means the world.